Hi, welcome back to Millennial Thermom. In this week's video, I'm going to talk about 5 steps that you can take to baby step towards your health and wellness. So make sure to keep watching. Says you may or may not know my birthday recently passed, and I think one thing I have been reflecting a lot on this week of my birthday and for the rest of the year, to be honest, is continuing to be able to take baby steps. As somebody who has struggled with maybe trying to do too much in the past, maybe even a little perfectionism, right? I think that sometimes it can feel like I'm not doing enough if it doesn't look grand. But one thing that I've learned in my 33 years of life is that this big changes come from tiny little steps. And we cannot compare ourselves to somebody else who's been stepping a lot longer, right? Like, let's say I just started learning about mental health this year. This was the year 2025 where I'm like, yeah, this is the year that I take care of myself. I want to be able to show up with energy and focus and blah, 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 right? It can be really tempting to be like, and I need to get there tomorrow. But I think another thing that I've been learning is that we need to have self compassion with ourselves in this journey of taking our baby steps towards health and wellness, knowing that it is all serving a purpose. It will all eventually we'll be able to see some little like fruits sprout, right? I'm a visual person, so I need to do that. But anyhow, that's why I wanted to talk about 5 things and some of the steps might be like, that's a step, but it is. So let's jump in. So one is to pause. Just pause. Stop. Like, let's not just add things to our list of things that we want to do because we see somebody else doing them. That, I mean, I'm not against like, hey, that person's doing that and I want to try and see if it works for me as a modeling thing, right? Like, oh, this person is doing this and I want to try it because they talked about how much it helps them versus like, I want to do this because they're doing it. That's it. Like, we need more. We need more than that, right? So pausing is the first step. And the second step is breathing. So taking a deep breath or as deep of a breath as you can. So breathing. And the reason that I say this is that whenever we move towards tackling a situation, facing a challenge, whatever it may be, it's almost always better to be able to address it from a place of center and calm and groundedness versus anxiety, fear, anger, right? And when we do something like taking a deep breath, it helps us ground into our bodies and into what matters most for us, not just in the now, but in the future. And kind of related is was listening to this podcast and it was talking about how a lot of times we know what's better for us down the road, right? Like, let's say I want to be the type of 70-year-old who is out walking every day and going on trips and this and that, right? That doesn't just happen by accident. Like, I need to know, like, okay, make sure that I keep my movement up, make sure that I'm like eating stuff that's good for my muscles, right? But what might happen is if I don't look to the future to be like, what does this mean for me in the future? It may be really hard to stay motivated in the now. It might be like, nah, I don't feel like going outside. No, I don't feel like working out. And if we are purely motivated by our feelings without exploring what's underneath it, then we may not be holding ourselves to self-compassionate accountability around what we know is best for us deep down, right? Like, I know that I need to drink a lot of water or I get dehydrated, right? I'm more likely to get sick, really, to be honest. That's me, right? So I'm going to be really intentional about drinking water, even if I don't feel like it. Even if I say I'm not thirsty today for some reason, right? Like, I'm still going to try to drink some water. And gratefully, drinking water is a habit that I've been practicing for a few years now, consistently. Not saying I just started drinking water, but drinking water consistently, filling up my little thing twice a day, right? That's been something. So pause, breathe to get that clarity. 3 is now that we've paused, we've taken a deep breath, we're gonna try to set some mindful intentions in 1 to 2 areas of our lives, knowing that health and wellness in one area can often propel us to health and wellness in other areas. So I'm gonna give you an example. Moving consistently and doing strength training was the thing that was hard for me to get restarted. And what I've been noticing it since I've started doing that is that it not only helps me feel stronger, like physically stronger, I feel like I can put my baby in the car seat, like with less struggle. I can carry her, I can dance, we can, all that stuff. And I feel not super exhausted. I still get tired, but not super exhausted. I've noticed that even that then also helps my mental health and my relational health because I'm showing up as a type of mom that I want to be and being present. I'm playing, I'm having fun. It's also really good mental health wise because of all the benefits that I know are happening here in my brain and releasing all the nice little hormones that I need to feel good, right? So, one movement intention or setting a mindful intention for my movement, it has also sparked like wellness in other areas. And this is like true story. Whenever I work out, I'm more likely to eat something nutritious or eat something that I know is going to feed my muscles because I'm like, I just worked out my muscles. Like I should treat my muscles good. Versus if I don't work out, then I might be like, oh, hot Cheetos at 9 a.m. Let's get it. Right. So that's just kind of a random example, but I'm an examples lady. So I wanted to give you all that. So for you, I want you to just consider 3 minutes, grab a little journal. This is my new one, y'all, because I ran out of space in this one, but exciting things. And just start with like, what is one area of my life that I want to make a baby step towards wellness or health? And then some examples of areas of health and wellness could be your spiritual health, your relational health, mental health, your financial health, your daily life health. Those are kind of like the main ones. I'm sure I missed one, but it's okay. You just reflect on you. Like, what does it look like when I am feeling healthy and well? What am I doing? Like, am I praying? Am I journaling? Am I walking? Am I dancing? So just consider that for yourself for 3 minutes. So just start off like that. Like, my intention for my mental health or wellness area is my intention for my physical health and wellness is to feel stronger, feel more flexible, really connect them to your whys. My intention for my relational health is to have more moments connecting with my daughter or whoever. I'm not gonna write it for you. You obviously, you know what's in your heart. Um, Step 4 is just identify that baby step and put it in your calendar if possible. So if I said my next baby step towards wellness is I'm gonna start going to the gym 1 time a week, then I'm going to put that in my calendar. And probably if you're a new parent, you may need to coordinate. Like, if I'm typically the one watching the baby during that time, who else can watch the baby during that time and really stick into it, right? And that's really like the last steps is step 5, which is reassess and check in as needed. I am a big also proponent of tracking or at least documenting somewhere in your journal what you're doing and how often. So I won't show you all my PHI, my private information, but some of the things that I have here is I have Monday through Sunday through the top, and some of the habits that I'm trying to include on the other part of the table. So I have like movement, walking outside, 3 minute journaling, flossing. Flossing is a financial health habit, by the way, for me. If you know that the dentist gets expensive, then you know that flossing helps with the bills a little bit. Anywho, and then I have again, you can't really see it too well, but there's little squares there. And for the most part, I like to put that, I want to do this 5 times a week, 1 time a week. And then I put a little square when I want to do it. So I would definitely recommend adding that together, habit stacking it together. So whenever you do your journaling, your 3 minute, 2 minute, whatever journaling and setting your intention for the day or for your next baby step, then you can also add a little table and be like, all right, this is when I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to check in and then reassess as needed. That's part of the process is knowing that maybe right now what feels good for me is doing this workout at this time, but in this next season and seasons, vary in time frames, right? Like maybe my next season is gonna be in May once we're in Florida. Maybe when I'm in that season, like I'm not gonna want to do that those types of workouts. I'm gonna want to do this, right? Or this is gonna fit better in my schedule. So we're allowing ourselves to shift and change in order to help us meet ourselves where we're at and not where we wish to be. We will get there, baby steps. So I hope you feel a little bit encouraged and a little bit more ready and able to start your baby stepping towards health and wellness. You definitely deserve to feel some health, some wealth, some wellness, all of that within yourself, and it'll come out, right? Like I always feel like when I'm feeling better about myself, when I'm feeling confident and strong, like I just can feel like my daughter is like more playful and she's more silly. And I think we have this back and forth, right? Like we spend a lot of time together. And I want that for you. I want you to create the health and wellness in your area, not just for yourself, but for those around you and the collective, your future, your past, all of us. We all benefit. So make sure to follow and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if there is one baby step towards health and wellness that you're like, I'm ready, I'm gonna do it. And yeah, I hope you all take care. Bye.